Very cozy music, interesting choice.
Mm-hmm. We'll see.
So, 30 seconds to go.
Sleep is for the weak, Remortis. Sleep is for the weak.
I agree.
There's a content creator in my chat who's in Japan, so he's on like a totally different time zone, and it's killing him to be up watching this.
Yeah. I never more this great fella, having good chats with him as already. Only the Twitch chats are combined. Only the Twitch chats are combined, sadly not YouTube. Ooh, what do we have?
Right, yeah, exactly.
Blood and Gore
oh
sounds
wow,
already
trailer
good.
right off the bat, nice. Warhammer.
Okay.
Obviously.
Hello, Warhammer fans.
Oh, not a trailer. Okay, cool.
Welcome to the Warhammer Skulls 2025
What's
showcase.
up, Raul? Good to see you, bro.
Skulls is the annual celebration of Warhammer video games, the first place to see world premieres and exclusive reveals. And on top of that, starting right now, you can enjoy a week-long promotion across a wide range of Warhammer video games on your chosen platform. So let's get things rolling with the announcement of a new game starring the sinister agents of the Inquisition.
Oh!
Whoa! Right off the bat?
Okay.
Right off the...
World
Which
premiere?
audio, Bando?
What?
What? Oh! Are you serious?
Anime style?
Oh, snap!
The Imperium is torn asunder. In this darkest hour, we are besieged on all fronts.
Do you hear the audio more now?
By enemies from within. By enemies from without.
An Ogrin!
By enemies from
What is
beyond.
going on?
Still, no matter the cost, we must persevere. Every blade must be turned to our defense. Every soul.
No way!
Dark secret.
Are you kidding me?
For if we fail,
The face skin wearers are there.
to the damnation of eternal night.
Dude. Dude. Dark Heresy right off the bat? Are you kidding me? Right off the bat? Oh, dude.
I thought it was a DLC for
My name is OWLCAT.
Rogue Trader.
I'm the lead narrative designer at OWLCAT
Wow.
and head of the team responsible for the storylines of both Rogue Trader and the upcoming Dark Heresy games. We'd like to thank all our players for your amazing support and feedback. They really mean a lot to the team. We've received many requests to make a title exploring Dark Heresy as our next project. And as huge Warhammer fans ourselves, we have long dreamed of bringing this game to life as a CRPG. And here we are.
So many people have asked for
We are
this.
excited to deliver darker and more personal experience to our fans, filled with grim-dark vibes, thrilling investigations, tough narrative choices,
I'm flabbergasted.
and an inside look at one of the most secretive organizations in the Warhammer universe, the Inquisition.
Wow.
And it looks like we're
To learn
using the
more
same
about our
mechanics.
game and follow the latest
same engine.
updates, please visit our website and follow our socials. We can't wait to welcome you there. See you soon.
Crazy. I knew it. I said in my video it was going to be Dark Heresy. I said in my video they were doing Dark Heresy.
I'm actually
Rogue
intrigued.
Trader.
Wow.
Rogue Trader. Back to back. Look at those shields.
Look at those Arbites.
Oh, snap. Oh. Dude!
I think that calls for another playthrough.
That's sick! It absolutely does! Oh, snap! Come on, let's go! Oh, you're gonna get to judge people? Are you kidding? Wow! New playthrough in June, 110%.
Wow.
Ooh, season pass 2. Yo!
Wait, we getting 4 more?
Yo! No, they're getting 2 more because there's already been 2, so they're saying we're gonna do 2 more DLCs. That's crazy. Wow, they came out shooting out the gate.
They said there were going to be some big reveals this year. They weren't lying.
I cannot agree more, Mouse.
Let's go. June 24th. That's awesome. That gives me just enough time to finish up with Tainted Grail, and then I'll be able to hit Rogue Trader hard. That's perfect for me. I wonder when they're planning to come out with Dark Heresy, though. I wonder how long that wait's going to be.
Well, I hope at least at the end of the year so we have time for Rogue Trader to play through.
That would be perfect. Basically, if right around, give me a couple of months after Rogue Trader, drop early access for Dark Heresy, play early access until it comes out at the end of the month or beginning of next year. Perfection. Perfection. Yeah. What is this game that we're watching, by the way? I'm talking all the way through it. I know nothing about it.
It's Warhammer Talisman, based, imagine...
Talisman.
Imagine Dungeon Dragons. So it's using the 5th edition D&D rule set for that. And
this show has already been epic. What is this?
Have I mentioned, Mouse, that Slandered is a very high person? I love it. You're muted, by the way.
That I'm muted?
No, Mouse is muted.
Oh, yeah. Sega? Did that say Sega?
Smells like Warhammer 3.
Warhammer 3? Oh, Total War. Oh, I never played that game. I didn't know Sega was a developer for that game.
Sega is the publisher for it. Creative Assembly is the developer.
Oh, Total War 3. Interesting. Okay. Many people have brought up Total War and said that they really enjoy it, but I've never experienced it before.
It's a massive, wonderful strategy game. Can highly recommend it.
Really?
Man, we don't even have time to breathe here. It's like back to back to back, getting bombarded.
Yo, what's so great about Total War Warhammer?
I think we gotta keep that for right after the show.
Yeah.
To dive into it.
Well, it looks like right now they're taking a look back at games that have already come out. Commentary from Studio Insiders.
Some nice art directions. Mouse, what do you think so far? What have you seen?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I
there
hear
we go.
you.
Yeah, I can hear you now, Mouse.
That's perfect.
So what do you think of what has been shown so far? No, you Mouse!
Combat cards!
You muted again.
Hey. Follow, appreciate the $2 donation, dude. Wish they were making Pathfinder. I don't blame you at all, man. I love Wrath of the Righteous. I love Warhammer and Wrath of the Righteous, so I'm sure sooner or later they'll go back to Pathfinder, and that's gonna make a lot of you happy. But for right now, Warhammer it is.
Card games? I'm out on that.
Yeah, I used to play Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh all the time. We've talked about on my Discord potentially getting back into Magic the Gathering, but other than that, no, card games are not my thing. Cardinal, thanks so much for the 5 get the sub, dude. I'm so sorry. I've had so many OWLCAT announcements I didn't even get a chance to thank you.
Yeah, Mass, whatever you said, we did not hear, sadly. Either you have a push to talk button, or
what is
now
this?
Now we can hear you.
Testing. Good.
Testing good.
Sorry for the tech issues.
All good, all good. This looks like an action RPG.
Yeah, it does.
Please don't tell me it's another Vampire Survivor clone.
I hate when they do that. When they show a trailer that portrays the game in a completely different way from what you actually experience. Like, just show the straight up gameplay, bro.
Looks like Tacticus, the mobile game. So I guess a new faction and expansion for Warhammer 40k Tacticus.
Probably. Shout out to all the people who play games on their phones. I can't do it. I've never enjoyed playing a game on a small screen. It's just not my thing.
I get hand cramps.
Right.
Hand cramps?
I keep telling myself sooner or later I'm going to go ahead and get a Steam Deck because I keep hearing those are really nice, and I feel like that screen is a little bit larger. But nah, I can't do the mobile games. Nah. Do you not have phones?
Games
that statement will forever live in infamy.
Virgil,
appreciate you following me over on Twitch,
part of what makes us human.
Rogue Trader.
Without preservation, all the emotions, creativity, stories, and innovations behind them risk being lost forever. We can't let that happen. That's why we've launched the GOG Preservation Program, an initiative dedicated to rescuing and reviving classic games, ensuring they remain accessible, playable, and DRM-free for generations to come. The world of Warhammer holds a special place in the hearts of gamers everywhere. Its rich lore, unforgettable characters, and legendary battles have shaped the way we experience strategy and fantasy.
I only played the second one. It was amazing.
These iconic games.
Oh, you missed that.
Today, we're thrilled to announce that 4 classic Warhammer titles are joining our GOG Preservation Program, ensuring they remain fully playable, DRM-free, and accessible on modern systems for years to come.
Chaos Gate.
Whoa. These are some very old titles.
I love that they've stuck to the dice system too.
Yeah.
I've always heard great things about GLG.
To celebrate Skulls 2025, we are giving away Warhammer 40,000 Rights of War, along with a time-limited digital goodie bag, including wallpapers and more. Go to GOG.com and make games.
I wasn't quick enough
forever.
on the draw, but I have to go back and see that for sure.
Oh, Remortis Warhammer Online is already back.
I love this man.
Corn available June 10th? What is this?
Blood Bowl. Imagine American football, but in Warhammer Fantasy Universe.
I remember seeing a trailer for this last year, and it looked insane.
It is nuts. I mean, devs, if you're out there and you want to, showcase some nice Blood Bowl action, we here.
Right. I can see myself giving this a whirl for a stream or two.
I mean, it's turn-based sports, so to say.
Paulo, thanks for the $2, man. Yeah, I wasn't into Warhammer before OWLCAT either, to be honest with you. So OWLCAT games is definitely what caused me to finally start paying more attention to them.
Also, so you're seeing something, but again, what you're coming through.
Oh yeah, because I'm live streaming on both YouTube and Twitch, so my YouTube audience is talking to me at the same time.
No worries.
Remortis, what do you like so much about Dawn of War?
What a start! And as you can see, there's some really cool stuff in the pipeline. And there's
I
still
love this
plenty
dude's
more to
hosting
come,
this
including
event.
this next trailer from a studio I've had the honor of working with personally.
Okay, another world premiere.
Oh.
Oruk, okay. Yeah. Boomer shooter. Bolt gun.
Bolt gun, yeah, bolt gun. I played about 3 hours of the first one, and I was like, this is really, really cool, and I don't even like first-person shooters. It needs a co-op option, though. I would have streamed it on the channel if there were some people I could co-op it with. Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. Alex, so the dates
for free
for the Rogue Trader expansions are already out? That's crazy. Whoa, back-to-back orange trailers? Yeah!
Oh, we're getting a sequel.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, it's definitely a sequel. Super cool. I wonder what improvements they've made to it. Give me co-op.
That's right, Malum Kaido is back. I am truly honored to have been given the opportunity to voice Kaido. It has been a highlight of my career, and I love just how much
he's a voice actor.
taken to our very angry body. And I am so excited for you all to be able to continue his journey.
Really?
We have plenty more surprises yet to come, including an update on one of last year's biggest announcements.
I wonder if any of these future announcements are going to compare to the first announcements that we got from OWLCAT. What is this? Wait a minute.
Report. What have our scouts found?
I forgot we're supposed to get a Mechanicus 2 announcement, right?
Yeah, we should. Could this be it? Some more Warhammer 40k XCOM?
Are active across
I'm
the
getting
planet.
that feeling.
The Necron laws.
Let me know when y'all see Mechanicus on your screen so I know I can sync up video. I think I'm a little bit ahead of y'all.
We now see Mechanicus.
Decimating the Imperials.
You see the title screen?
But their machine calls
Okay. Oh, wait.
resistance is fierce. Their
Send me what you
tech
see.
priests are reinforcing
Enjoy.
the front lines with everything they have. Human and machine alike.
Has any of you played the first one?
I have not.
It's a bitter fight to
When I
maintain
heard
their
about the
production
first one,
capabilities.
here, I'm waiting for the trailer to finish.
Necrons pay for every inch of ground taken. That ground, though, is now within the Imperial cities. It'll be no easy thing securing our target amidst this destruction.
I like the environmental destruction.
Keeps, toil earns. Is the Oath Band ready to deploy?
Our hearts burn, Lord Greenyear. Where do we strike?
Wherever the wisdom of the Votan decides.
Mechanicus 2 is there.
There you go,
So
Mechanicus
it's
2.
not a release date yet. I did not play the first one. People kept telling me, oh, original Mechanicus free to play from the 22nd to the 26th on Steam. Is that right?
There we go.
We
You
might
have the chance to try it
that
out.
world. So what I keep hearing is that Mechanicus has some of the best music you can hear in a Warhammer game, but the
Totally agree.
gameplay itself was boring and repetitive. And so because of that, I never really gave it a whirl. I definitely plan to try out Mechanicus 2 though. What is this?
We're getting more Vormintide 2
The
content?
Ratmen
What?
need to use the Well of Dreams to send their bomb into the world.
A verminous dreams.
The others do not believe, but belief does not surrender.
I thought that game was like done and the company moved
Skaven
on.
must be stopped, and we shall be the ones to do it.
Oh, an arrow in Warhammer? Good lord. Did you like this game?
It was fantastic. 4-player co-op. Full-on carnage. Or was it 3 players? I can't remember. And
Vermintide. Okay.
a free update right now. Okay.
That's awesome. Adja, what's going on? Appreciate you following me over on Twitch. Mechanicus was decent, not the level of XCOM or Phoenix Point. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, as you said, the gameplay loop was kind of meh. Music fantastic,
Right.
atmosphere fantastic, and
Right.
they promised that Mechanicus 2 will be everything but better.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued by potentially playing as a Necron. So, orcs. There's so many people who ask, when are we going to get orcs in Rogue Trader?
Combat racing worth for 40k? What?
What's the boy?
Didn't they announce this last year? I swear we saw a trailer about this last year.
Maybe it was
looks
early
sick,
access
though.
last year, and now it's full release.
Yeah.
The big stomper.
Wow.
This looks wild. I used to love these kind of games as a kid, with the Carmageddon and all these kind of like car destruction games.
Eagles. Speed Freaks. Interesting. Out now. Very nice. Okay, it's an old announcement, RM. Got you.
I think it's free to play as well.
Hold your horses. There might still be an Age of Sigmar announcement. Hold your horses, all right? Because usually they try to end off on a really good game as well. So they might be saving it for the end.
New command.
Could be.
Vigilant.
What
Day
is
one.
this?
Oh.
I deploy our 1st regiment.
Whoa!
Morale is high, but could always improve. Day 7. We join forces with the Adeptus Astartes. Day 12. Together, we drive back the heretics in the north. Day 13. The strength of our forces has attracted some unwanted attention.
The orcs are
Day
coming.
15. I sacrificed 21 regiments in a diversion attack. Day 17. Our allies sell their lives dearly in battle with the orcs.
What is this?
Day 19. Our covert operations cripple the most powerful orc faction, luring their own allies to turn against them. Day 30. Across Vigilus, our armies drive the enemy back. For the first time, men whispered of hope, even of victory.
Here, hold on. I turned on my mic.
But I am certain
Supremacy.
this was
What
only
is
the
that?
beginning.
Play for free soon.
Oh, phone game.
Oh, it's a phone. I hate when they do
I'm
that.
part of the
Because
Supremacy
you
Warhammer
already know it's
40,000
not going to
team,
look
and
like
we
that
are really
trailer.
excited to be here at Skulls and present our
Oh, they're
new
doing
game
a whole
to
thing
you
for it?
Warhammer
Okay,
fans.
show me how it
Our
actually
goal
plays,
is to
dude.
create a free-to-play grand strategy experience that is really deep and complex for mobile, and it will also be downloadable on our website for PC.
Okay, models are not
It's
looking
about
so
small
bad.
skirmishes or single battles. It's about seeing your strategy unfolding against other players in the match who are also trying to gain control over Planet Vigilus. I'm really looking forward to seeing you all in the match, rallying your forces of Space Marines, Astra.
Gotcha, it's kind of like an MMO, like phone
excited to pick the orcs,
RTS.
the other players in the match a real good crumpet.
I just wish they
Come
would say
to
up front, hey, it's a phone
playsupremacy.com
game, bro.
to tell us which faction you want to choose and get
Like-
updates on Supremacy Warhammer 40,000. See you on Vigilus. at
Come on,
launch.
bro. I should have known as soon as I saw App Store. Like, I got nothing against people who love mobile games. It's all good, but just make the distinction. Yo!
Okay, get some official miniatures.
That's awesome. I got a real appreciation for the folks who are able to do that, because it is not a skill that I have.
That looks very
One of my
photorealistic.
One of my subscribers sent me a miniature based on the character I used for Rogue Trader. That was so freaking cool. I
That's
still
cool.
got it back there. Yeah. Definitely enjoyed it.
Last December, we released the latest DLC for Battle Sector, the Astra Militarum. The new faction joined the fight with 16 new units and brand new HQ abilities. This March, we sent out a major patch for Battle Sector,
What's up, Kyle?
featuring some really exciting updates. First, came some new arrivals for the Astra Militarum, the Liman Rasp for Battle Cannon and Kedian Sergeant. Secondly, there was a significant faction refresh for the Sisters of Battle.
Game
with
Freak,
new
cheer
unit
up.
balance
Appreciate you
and
all following me
brand
over
new
on
abilities.
Twitch.
For this year's Skulls, we wanted to give you some new free units. This time, it's the Sisters of Battle and Orcs that will reap the benefits.
Adeptus
The Adeptus
Sororitas.
Sororitas can now
Nice.
count on the Dominions.
Getting a little bit of
while
a
the Orcs
revamp for
are
free.
getting the much requested melee version of the boys.
Building upon the foundations of the Planetary Supremacy mode and heading towards new war zones, we're adding a new game mode called Crusade. Today at Skulls, we're releasing just the first
Crusade
version
game
of
mode,
Crusade.
nice.
In the future, we're planning on improving and expanding it.
I do have Cape Mulgrew on my alert.
We challenge you to take your initial army and go through waves and hordes of enemies. We're also adding a new way to
I
level
like
up
the
your
designs,
army.
I have to
Units
admit.
will gain experience and level up based on how fiercely they're fighting the
Battle
enemy.
Sector is really good. It's a really nice turn-based strategy game.
There hasn't been new story content from us since our initial release, but that changes today with the arrival of our new story campaign, Deeds of the Fallen. Welcome to Warzone Chalnath. Within this zone, we find Theracleo 4, otherwise known as Ashenfell. Once a world of great fire and industry, with boiling volcanoes harnessed to power imperial manufactorums. With the Great Rift came a great stilling, and the planet is now just a ball of ash and ice. And now, a great orc war has descended.
I like the way he pronounces war.
Across the planet. Into this realm of ash and fury descends Canoness Celicia of the Order of Our Martyred Lady, accompanied by Sister Hospitaller Durentia and a mobile strike force of zealous Zephyrin. She has been dispatched by the Ecclesiarchy to assault the orc flanks and relieve the pressure around the bastion of Fortress Convent Incentia. This campaign is 12 missions long, and also adds 3 new units for the Sisters of Battle for use in both the Deeds of the Fallen campaign and in other game modes. As well as the previously mentioned Zephyrim, we are also bolstering the Sisters' force with the Imagifier. And thirdly, the Sisters will gain access to the Castigator battle.
That looks awesome. What's up, Wolfhard? How are you, man? Give me a drink. Appreciate you following me on Twitch.
There will also be something new, exciting, and a bit chaotic coming towards the end of the year.
That looks like a ton of fun, actually. I have not
Black
played
Legion
an
as well.
RTS game. I haven't played an RTS game at all, honestly. So it might be interesting to dive into a Warhammer one.
You could try a Battle Sector because it's turn-based and it will not be as stressful as an RTS. Because real-time strategy is always another level of attention span and being there. I think turn-based combat is always more manageable in terms of live streaming because you have time to talk to people, you have time to plan your turn, and then you click on end turn and then see what happens. With RTS, you're like, action, not stop, no pause, go.
Right. Interesting.
Sorry about that, folks. I think I was out of sync. I think it's better now. I think we're watching the same trailer.
I hope so. When you just now have the golden rider.
Clinging to your
We're looking at display now.
praying to a carcass.
Oh, we're a little bit ahead.
I see
Are you
your
ahead?
fear.
Yeah.
I taste it.
Big eye.
Pitiful that you cower before such beautiful ruin.
Slaneshi throne.
Traitors.
I think we're good with Miss Slanesh.
Exactly.
You called us so many names, and yet you wonder.
Dawn of War 2 is a co-op multiplayer? Interesting. Card game.
Oh!
Somebody in my chat was saying a mobile game.
Warforge is getting a totally new faction.
Just the same.
I did a tutorial on this game when it came out.
We are the composers of agony, sculptors of torment, the Emperor's children. And as you draw your last breath,
It's quite a nice commander battler, similar to Hearthstone that Warcraft did.
your death will be.
Yeah, the only card game I've ever purchased and played was Gwent. I keep hearing about Balatro, never got into that, and I keep seeing these trailers for these Warhammer card games. So I might have to try to give them a whirl at some point.
Warforge is a very decent one.
Okay.
Is it like micro heavy? Do you know?
What does micro heavy mean?
Just like a lot of like purchases to stay on top of the meta and things like that.
Yeah, gotcha.
Oh no, you can totally play it for free.
Oh, nice.
Look on me now. Know your slayer.
Know your
I think this is from the same developers, only that this is their prior title to Warforge.
I love the artwork.
I do not need
Yeah, the voice acting, the artwork is good. The strategy that you can combine your units with and the abilities is chef's kiss, and you can really flesh out your decks and builds. Exactly. Horus Heresy Legion. That's the prior title.
Don't play Balatro as crack cocaine.
I've heard Balatro is wild.
I think the showcase is supposed to be an hour, so I think it ends at like 12 p.m.
Should be.
About halfway through, I think.
And I think the last one ended like earlier. I think the last one ended around like 11:45. So, right, basically until they run out of trailers out mine.
This reminds me of the tabletop RPG session I did with the voice actors.
I heard about that. It's amazing.
Oh wait, great fun. Nice Christmas movie that we created there.
Oh, man.
People say before our session there was Die Hard as a Christmas movie. Now it's that TTRPG session.
Absolutely. I shouted you out.
Well, way too kind, Slandered. Thank you kindly.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem.
Everybody's jumping on these subscription models in trying to milk that cow.
We are entering the home stretch now. We've saved some of the best for last. Brutal Judgment comes to the Morning Star.
The best was at the beginning, mate.
Playable DLC class in Dark Tide.
Yeah, they started so strong. I don't know how to get on top of that.
Space Marine 2 and a classic Warhammer 40,000 game
That would be
returns.
crazy.
Check it out.
That would be crazy.
Did we finally get a Dawn of War 3?
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Attention, scum. You are in defiance of the Emperor's law. You cannot hide. You cannot escape.
Is Dark Tide also getting an Arbites? A Judge Dredd?
Whatever he's saying, he means that shit. Somebody is unimpressed.
Doggo? Yes, Doggo!
Stop looking behind you. You'll run faster. Ooh, you should have kept running, homie. That's not helping you. Snap!
Yeah, Arbites.
Oh, that dog's so cool.
Yeah. They're basically the Judge Dredd version.
Man, they're coming back with a vengeance, apparently. Here in Dark Tide and in Rogue Trader. Okay.
Looks like a big crossover.
Free play days.
Inquisitor Martyr, nice action RPG, Diablo-like.
Malasambra, appreciate you following me on Twitch.
Rust?
What's Rust doing here?
What is going on? Yo, I really like this.
What
This
Is it
is
like a
super
crossover
cool.
event?
This is super cool. What? How is that working? Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. Maybe some
If you say so.
cosmetics and things like that, maybe?
Justin, they kicked the show off with OWLCAT games. Dark Heresy.
This is more Space Marine 2?
Space Marine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's your net action.
Didn't they already announce that they're working on Space Marine 3?
Yeah. Oh, the wave mode is coming. Or the horde
It's like
mode.
Starship Trooper vibes.
Or siege mode even.
I enjoyed that game so damn thoroughly. Man.
June 26th, Siege mode.
Interesting. Be the mech, man.
Malasambra, I'm equally hyped about the Dark Heresy announcement for sure. For sure.
Dropping some bolsters in Rust.
Amazing.
I think Warhammer 40k weaponry in Rust sounds kind of unfair, especially if it's a bolter gun that shoots mini rockets, basically.
Everybody else rocking a bow and arrow.
And you're there with chain swords. For the Emperor! What? This is Dawn of War 1. What is happening here? What are we getting?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, they're upgrading it. That's interesting.
Stream got stuck for me.
Definitive edition. So in Dawn of War, can you choose whatever faction you want, or do you have to play as the Imperium?
Depends on the campaign. If you play a campaign, you can choose some factions, or if you play the so-called conquest modes, where you play on a big map, and whenever it comes to battle, it goes into the RTS mode. You choose the faction you want to.
The orc with the cigar is awesome. Oh, wow.
Well, Vikings, you know what's gonna be back on the menu? Some Dawn of War 1 Definitive Edition.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, the nostalgia bait.
Man, I was even thinking about starting a campaign again of Dawn of War 1 to have it recorded and not only played in my youth time.
Yeah, y'all have already mentioned it multiple times during this live stream, so apparently I'm missing out. One of the best RTS games and Warhammer games that I know. Is that right, Rex? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He's probably not exaggerating.
I'm not the only one here that hasn't played it.
So are Dawn of War 2 and 3 not as good as 1?
Dawn of War 3 does not exist.
Dawn of War 3 does not exist. Oh, I thought somebody was asking for Dawn of War 4.
I was asking for a real Dawn of War 3, because Dawn of War 3 is the biggest crap pile that I've ever produced. That's why it doesn't exist.
You're saying that they did you bogus and that you don't appreciate it.
Oh yeah, they did really bad with that. That's why I'm hoping for an actual Dawn of War 3.
Cray.
Oh, board game. I'm always down for board games.
Why not? Ooh. What is going on?
Zero latency. We have one like 20 kilometers away from me.
What?
And I'm putting down a team right now to jump into this and clip it and film it. It's full VR action in a 300 meter square-based empty room with glasses on where you can run around and play together. It's insane.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
it's like a Warhammer arcade.
They have multiple games. This is just one of the game's installments from Zero Latency. The bloodiest one being Warhammer Space Marine.
I want you to know my YouTube chat is going crazy about Dawn of War 3, saying that it was an absolute embarrassment and a betrayal of the fans. They agree with you wholeheartedly, Corbaker.
Love your YouTube chat.
Wholeheartedly.
Oh.
In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war.
This looks like Space Marine 1.
Oh, they're gonna update it so that it's easier for me to play? Is that what's about to happen? Space Marine returns. Enhanced for new generation. These dudes ain't no dummies. They know there's money to be made. They're like, y'all didn't know about Space Marines, but you know about it now, so let us give you a little bit of a taste. I could see myself doing that, but was Space Marines 1 co-op?
No, single player.
No, was it? That's the only drawback. I really enjoyed experiencing a Warhammer game with multiple people.
Although I'm not sure anymore, but I think it was single player. It had online multiplayer though, PvP matches. The classical.
It's like a pretty clean remaster.
Nice. Ooh,
It's
I
called
like
Master
that photo.
Crafted.
That's awesome. I like that.
Oh, it's in the
Am I
Xbox Game
speaking
Pass
voice
day
back?
one.
Well,
For
that's
anybody
it, folks.
using
Thank you
Xbox
very
Game
much for
Pass.
joining me.
Oh,
You
that's
can
the end of
learn
the
more
show.
about the games featured in this showcase and where to play them by visiting
40 minutes.
warhammer-community.com.
So are they going to end it with one last
Don't forget
trailer?
to head over
so
to
that
your
y'all can
gaming
get the Age
platform
of
of choice
Sigmar?
to take
Let's
advantage of
see.
the amazing promotions running this week on Warhammer video games, which is where I'm heading off to right now. Thank you
Nice.
for watching. Take care.
I love you, Raul.
They don't end it on anything special. OWLCAT was definitely the highlight. OWLCAT, that's kind of crazy that they kicked it off with the high point. You would think they would spread that out a little bit. I thought that they would like start it with Rogue Trader maybe and then end it with Dark Heresy, but they're like, nope, let me just go ahead and give you what you came for. Hey, look, I'm not going to complain about it. Let's see. I want to see if the trailer is available yet online. Dark Heresy. Let me watch that again because we were kind of messed up in the beginning of it.
It was really, really wild. So, Mouse, Slandered, what do you think? Any favorites to pick?
What's that?
Any favorites to pick from what has been showcased? Is besides of Chaos, OWLCAT, anything that piqued your interest?
The three games that I'm definitely going to play are obviously Rogue Trader, Dark Heresy, and what the hell is that game that we were talking about where the music was incredible?
Mechanicus 2.
Mechanicus 2. Mechanicus 2. That's definitely what I want to play. Give me 1 second. I want to show my channel that Dark Heresy. I need to watch that Dark Heresy trailer again because I ended up having to interrupt it because my channel was saying that they couldn't hear anything. So I missed like the first like 20, 30 seconds of it. Give me 1 second and we'll rewatch that.
Gotcha. Throw it in there. Mouse, what do you think? You muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Only when Discord's up for some weird reason. Sorry about that.
Maybe next time just throw Discord into admin mode when opening. Maybe there's like some interference with buttons or whatnot. Happens sometimes.
Definitely. But yeah, Rogue Trader definitely need to dip my toe in that. I haven't partaken yet. And Total War Warhammer is always going to have a soft spot in my heart because that's kind of how I was first properly introduced to the Warhammer universe, and I'm a huge Total War fan besides. So I'm definitely looking forward to the new content.
Okay, so Warhammer 3 content and Rogue Trader. Let's pick the winner for you.
Oh God, it's putting me in a spot.
For me personally, of course, OWLCAT's editions is Chef's Kiss, Dark Heresy announcements. Wow. I'm a little bit sad though that they seem to be using the same engine and not moving forward in terms of like trying to bring out even more visually powered here, because I think they have the skill for it, but I guess they started working on it already during Rogue Trader's end production. So it's kind of like obvious to stay within known boundaries of visuals. I mean, it's still good. It looks fantastic, and it's an isometric RPG, so you don't need the craziest graphics because you're not up close and personal, being like third-person camera, Witcher style, for example. So there's no necessary need for it, especially because it's also turn-based combat as well. I would have loved to see them dare to go into a newer, more graphical engine with the same mechanics. It's nothing that it's like bad about it. Just a personal preference because the tech is there, and as how games progress, especially Space Marine 2, how gorgeous is that game looking? And imagine now a Rogue Trader or Dark Heresy in that kind of graphical style.
I find it interesting that OWLCAT made it clear they're working on an Unreal Engine 5 fully cinematic game, and it's clearly not Dark Heresy.
Yeah, they have from their announcement back then 2 2 games in the oven. One apparently is now
Right.
Dark Heresy. The second one,
Right.
we don't know yet.
We have no clue. And I'm pretty sure they said that game is still an isometric CRPG. So, yeah, so I have no idea what it is that they're working on, but that's super interesting. Super interesting. But I'm super excited about Dark Heresy. I actually know nothing about it other than that we're going to be working for an Inquisitor and that you're going to be dealing a lot more with the internal mechanisms of the Inquisition, all of which is very exciting for me. So supposedly it's a much more grounded experience where you're going to be low level for most of it, and your real power comes from using the fact that you're associated with the Inquisition to influence people and kind of get your way. So it's a lot of investigations and interacting with other people and things of that nature. But you're going to be in very dangerous situations because it's not like y'all are just this all powerful group that can steamroll everyone around you. Like when
that sounds
possible,
interesting.
you want to, yeah. It should be very interesting. It should give a totally different vibe than Rogue Trader, you know, where you're this huge lord who's really rules most of the places that you come to, and you're just there to remind people that you rule it. It's not that way in Dark Heresy, from my understanding. From my understanding, you're basically low level part of the Inquisition, but you've got to use that connection to get your way.
That sounds very intriguing. Very intriguing. Mouse, you said you did not play Rogue Trader yet. If you ever want an power fantasy game where you become like the mega giga lord who has unlimited amount of money. Money's not even an currency in the game because you're that rich. You just have kind of like resources, and if you have enough resource access, you just buy everything you want.
Full on nepo baby, gotcha.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the game basically treats it as your money is your influence. If you have a certain amount of influence, then you just take it. You don't actually purchase it. It just says, hey, you're at this certain level, then everything you want, you should have. So
cool.
you don't actually manage like individual coins.
It's wild. It's wild. It makes
it's different. I'm intrigued.
It definitely throws you into that shoes and vibes and feel of how powerful a person in that situation is, how powerful a Rogue Trader is, the pioneer of the human empire, so to say.
It'd be interesting because usually you have like this sort of power fantasy. Usually that extends to like the hero or like king level. It sounds like a slightly different experience, really unique.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
And a lot of decision making, a lot of corruption possibility, and it's a wild storyline. Like it's insane how different the outcome can be and the experience for the player can be depending on your choice factors. And
And the last DLC, Void Shadows, added a ton of content into the game. And so we're definitely expecting with the new Arbites DLC expansion that it's going to be similar. So it's not just like a new party member. They're going to add new weapons. There's going to be a lot of new quests, new locations you can go to. In the last one, it even had new void chip battles that you could get involved with based on what occurred. So really cool stuff. It should create a completely different fleshed out experience. So I've been telling people when that DLC comes out, it'll probably be the perfect time to dive into Rogue Trader. That it'll probably be in the best state and shape that it's been since release. And it's really cool to see that they're even going to do a season 2 pass. I have no idea what those DLCs and expansions are going to be.
Well, it also shows.
It sounds like it's gonna be a great time.
So Gene over on YouTube just confirmed OWLCAT has confirmed that Dark Heresy is fully voice acted.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. Which is going to be, for those who don't know, this is going to be a first for OWLCAT games. All of their previous games just have partial voice acting. When I say partial voice acting, I would say like 40%. So not even half. Like 40% of their games is usually voice acted, and the rest you had to read. So them putting out a game that's fully voice acted is extremely different for them. And it's going to be very interesting to see how different dialogue and exposition is handled in Dark Heresy compared to some of the previous games that they've done.
Agreed. I see that Remortis said that he's kind of disappointed that didn't mention Warhammer 40k Total War. There is the strongest possibility that they will showcase something of it. Earlier today, I was talking with Lionhearts, one of the Creative Assembly intern content creators, who's all about Total War. And yeah, there is the high chance that we get a 40k. There is a possibility, but very unlikely because it will cost probably a lot of money to buy the IP of a Total War Star Wars, because that was also in the rumors. And I'm really intrigued, and I'm kind of afraid if they manage to bring a good game loop in terms of how will they manage it. Will it be a planet that you fight over and you have your typical Warhammer Total War, typical Total War experience with your settlements and sectors and whatever you control, where it generates resources for you and units? Or will they go even interstellar and be planets and solar systems and, I don't know, space combat? Creative Assembly definitely has to create a lot of new mechanics and approaches if they want to go big, full scale. We'll see. Quite excited.
Hopefully that leaves a lot of room for like end game mechanics too, because I know not just Creative Assembly but strategy games in general tend to struggle with that kind of snowball effect, where usually the early campaign is good in a tactical or strategic game, but then once you hit like middle or late, it kind of just becomes kind of a foregone conclusion. And yeah,
you're just waltzing over everybody, or the enemy waltzes over you. Yeah.
So potential there, I think, to maybe throw a curveball.
Do you think, Slander, that Dark Heresy will be as well co-op accessible as
I
Rogue
think
Trader
so.
is?
I think that's definitely the direction OWLCAT wants to go in. I think that's part of the Baldur's Gate 3 effect, right? Where it allows
Baldur's
people to
Gate
jump
3
together.
effect, I love it.
Yeah, allows people to jump into these games together, and that's been part of the reason why so many people enjoyed that experience. I absolutely believe, in fact, it's not even believe, OWLCAT mentioned that part of the reason they put co-op into Rogue Trader, which is something they had not done in either of their two previous games, is because of Baldur's Gate 3. So yeah, I definitely think that that's the direction that they're going to want to go at, and it just helps to give you that tabletop feel, right, of a bunch of people coming together and having different perspectives and different ideas about how to get something done. And I think that a lot of developers who are making games that are based off of tabletop games enjoy being able to bring that element into the experience. And obviously, OWLCAT is that type of developer. They started with the Pathfinder games. Now they're moving on to Warhammer, and it's all that same type of feel.
I'm hoping only that.
It's amazing to see them. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just saying it's great to see them kind of go back to the roots, like Slander was saying about having that co-op feel to it. Because that's Warhammer at heart, right? So
true.
Please.
The only thing that I am missing, though, with the Rogue Trader co-op is it feels like, from a combat perspective, that you're playing together. Like you assign companions or characters to the player who joins you, but the whole decision making and the role play aspect remains on the host. I would love to see if you go into the co-op and play together. That I think Divinity Original Sin did it quite nicely, where you could throw in a veto if the player, the host, says, I would like to go through the left door. You could say, no, let's go through the right burning door, because that looks more interesting. And there was little debates between in-game mechanically who will win more or less the decision making. I'm not sure how they progressed it in Divinity Original Sin 2, because I didn't play that yet. But it was then.
You didn't play Divinity Original Sin 2? Holy smokes, bro.
Sadly not yet. I missed out on that. But in the first one, there was like a rock, paper, scissor mini game to decide
I remember what you're talking about.
who's winning the thing there. It was
Divinity
quite funny.
And so It was fun. Yeah, that definitely provided an interesting co-op experience. I want a middle ground between Road Trader provides, which I agree doesn't give the people coming into your game enough agency. But I don't completely like the way it works in Baldur's Gate 3, because in Baldur's Gate 3, people can come in and basically just blow up your game and start up a bunch of conversations and pick whatever they want. You don't even necessarily see the conversations that they have. You have to manually enable the option that allows you to see what is happening in those combos. And so I feel like that's too much. I feel like they give the people coming to your game too much freedom to just do whatever they want. So if there's a more of a middle ground where it's like, hey, they can veto things, they can try to push for things, but they can't just run around and just blow up everything. I think that would be better.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's the unfortunate case that a lot of times developers will kind of make their game around the idea of just kind of like sharing their experience with a friend or something like that. But unfortunately, I think in a lot of cases they don't really foresee how chaotic, I guess would be the nice way to put it, how chaotic online play can be with strangers or just casual acquaintances. Definitely like to see them kind of shift mindset a bit to kind of protect against the less desirable shenanigans, I guess we'll say.
Exactly.
I hear you, but I think it's more like in the host's power. Like you decide who you bring along to tag along for the gameplay, and before you do that, it's like when I do tabletop RPG sessions with a new group, I have like a session 0 and put on the table, okay, what's your expectation of our run? Where are you gonna go? What's your mindset upon it? Are we having funs and trying to do shenanigans? Or are we role playing our characters and trying to immerse ourselves in the storyline? Like, where's your main focus?
See,
and then you can decide, of course, if you want to go through and play with that person or not. Because if you are the person who likes story and immersion and you want to, be part of that whole thing, and then you have a guy who joins you who's into shenanigans, and you like talking to the druids in the druid grove in BG3, and all of a sudden you have I don't know, explosive barrels everywhere and everything explodes, and the character you just talked to is up in flames, and you're like, well, what now? You have to kind of like find, I guess, the right gaming partner. If you're doing it online, of course, there's always the chance for pure chaos, and you never know what you might get if you're doing it with strangers. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, when I look at the group of party members that you get for Dark Heresy, it seems like there's some Xenos in there, right? Which I found interesting, because you would think that the Inquisition would not be willing to work with them. Again, I don't know how Dark Heresy works, so I'm gonna have to look at all that. But if there is a possibility of you get to put together a team that has multiple Xenos characters in it, and that they're working directly for the Inquisition, that's kind of wild. And I'm really looking forward to, what are the story reasons, and how does that change the complexity of you interacting with the Society of the Imperium. All of this looks really, really cool. Really, really cool. The Ogren are abhumans.
Yeah, Ogrins are fantastic. They have a quite interesting low IQ, and I think Dark Tide was the latest installment where we could play as Ogrins, but they were a little bit genetically modified and have like chips implants in their brain to artificially make them more intelligent. Otherwise, they would be just kind of like wild beasts smashing and thrashing. But with those implants, you can actually have some sort of tactical element to it, and conversations even with the Ogrins. But conversations like you would have with a 5-year-old child. Something like that. Like don't expect kind of big things. Evil Kinicon in chat says Inquisition can use aliens. That is true, because the Inquisition does want to achieve their goal, and the path to the goal doesn't really matter very often and can become very gray in all kind of aspects. So I think going with Dark Heresy and Inquisition will make it a bit more free in terms of, if you want to be dogmatic and following the path of the Emperor, you'd still have the chance to kind of like use the evil for your thing and then dispose of it. As we know from history, it doesn't end well, and chaos, corruption, and other stuff always happens. But I guess that's part of the fun.
In my YouTube chat, they say Ogryn are mechanically stronger than Astartes. Wow, that's crazy.
We can debate on that.
Is this the Die Hard as a Christmas movie type question?
Something like that.
What's up, Wyvern?
I mean, maybe if like an Astartes would be naked bakey, not in his power armor, and go hand-to-hand combat with an Ogryn, potentially. If that Astartes is a space wolf, then we might have other issues there. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not...
All right. I got to jump off. I'm actually in the middle of my work schedule. I took my lunch break so I could go ahead and do this live stream. And now I got to go ahead right back on call, unfortunately. Of course, I can do the big announcements during the week where I'm on call. It would have been nice to be able to chat more for a longer period of time, but I really, really enjoyed this. Thank you so much, Core Maker, for helping to make this happen. SwordMouse, it was an absolute pleasure.
It was a pleasure to have you here and get some of that slandered gaming hype energy. I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely down to do this again. So definitely let's connect again at some point to the chat. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you all enjoyed it. You all already know I'm going to be doing a lot more content for OWLCAT Games and everything that they announced today. So definitely, if you haven't already, subscribe, follow me on Twitch, hit that bell if you're on YouTube so you don't miss any of my content, and do the same for Core Maker, who should already be linked on the streams, and SwordMouse. I'm gonna check back on my titles and see if I can find you so I can do the same for you, so that my channel will be able to follow you as well. Appreciate you all. I'm gonna head back to work. See you later. Thank you so much.
Have a good one, man. Much love.
Have a good one, Slandered.
Yep.
So,
oh man, I love his energy. It's like a natural shout. Like Warhammer needs to get a hold of that, man.
Yeah, Slender has a very, very high impact energy. I loved it.
Yeah, that's so good.
So that remains you and I for a little bit more chitty chat.
I feel very under-equipped for the Warhammer talk, but I'm here for it. Just pretend that I'm like the vessel for the more casual or newer Warhammer fans. You know,
totally fine.
Like,
you mentioned that Warhammer 3, Total War Warhammer, was your like entry gate into the universe.
It was, yeah. Technically, it was actually a mod for Mountain Blade Warband where I first experienced Warhammer, which is kind of random, just giant trolls everywhere, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. And then that was just the door sort of cracking open and realizing that it was just this massive world that I didn't know existed up to that point. What about you? What was your first foray into Warhammer?
Wow. I have to go way back and call out a game that is called Dark Omen. It's a Warhammer fantasy game, very old school. It was an RTS game with big story elements, make story decisions, super hard. I never managed to beat that game. Like, it was insanely difficult. And Dark Omen kind of like opened the door to the whole Warhammer fantasy universe for me. Then I went into reading the Gotrek and Felix books about a human Imperial guy being best buddies with an Slayer dwarf. As a context, Slayer dwarfs are oath breakers, or people who have like lost their path and they've decided to go into the most craziest combat situation, hopefully finding their death in battle to kind of like regain their honor. That's kind of like the Slayer mentality when they put down the Slayer oath. And to amplify that, they go in just in shorts with no armor, full-on rage mode, and have those wild hero mohawks thingies.
Just full berserker energy.
Yep, kind of like full berserker energy. Mostly dual wielding huge axes or having catapults that are throwing axes.
Okay, yeah, I've seen the faction in again having a channel Warhammer 3 for my limited knowledge. That's I think the dwarfs have those, right? Right, everybody, right, Chad?
Something like that. Something like that. Oh, I just noticed that the chat together thing did not work for you.
Yeah, I apologize, man. Lots of
Oh,
tech issues today.
We gotta improve. We gotta learn and do it better next time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's nowhere to go but up, honestly.
Fantastic. So that was kind of
I
like
really
the
enjoyed
opener for
this.
me.
So thank you for including me with the event and stuff.
Thank you for taking the precious time and hopping in. I'm sorry for the technical pause that was happening, and
all good.
I hope you got not scared from the hyper energy that Slendered is bringing to the table.
It's so good having Slandered bring the hype, and then you with like your sort of an exhaustive knowledge of Warhammer stuff. It's just perfect combo. Just basking in it.
Even though I'm super like stage frightened, I think is the name. I like this butterflies for tomorrow because OWLCAT Games is having a post Warhammer Skulls
I heard about that
show, and
it's huge. That's amazing.
Slattered and I are invited to be there as their guests on their stream. And yeah, I just hope I'm not getting these typical hot questions, I think it's called, where you get like bullet shot questions at you, like what legion number is the Space Wolves, or you know, these kind of like nerd hardcore lore questioneering.
Oh, I'm sure you'll do plenty fine with those.
No, I'm gonna
You're more
block
worried
it,
about
like,
them asking like who your favorite developer is from the team or things like that.
What's their full name?
You could be any legion. What would you be?
It could be any legion. What would I be? I don't know. The
Warhammer
40K universe.
What's your space marine? Yeah.
The Warhammer 40K universe is so dark. I would not wish to live in it in any sorts of way possible. Like, if I would have the choice, I would say no. Just no. If I would be brute forced into it, then I probably would say, of course, some direction of Astartes, because that would make the probability of survival the highest. Or a rogue trader who just lives off his wealth and can do whatever he wants and be protected by his subordinates. Something along those lines. Otherwise, you get up being a workforce, a servitor. That is even worse. That is where a human being gets lobotomized and you're kind of like brain dead in your body, and a computer decides what your body will do for you, and you're kind of like partially present but sometimes somehow not present. It's kind of like a awakened coma where you have to execute the commands of the Adeptus Mechanicus, do work tasks all day long, and cannot really act on your own behalf.
See, I wonder if even that would be an escape. It's sort of the ignorance is bliss type situation, right? You just kind of nope out of sentience, and yeah.
You've played Darktide, right?
I don't think I have actually. A little bit of Vermintide, some Blood Bowl.
Okay. Because in Darktide, they've mixed in some nice little details, like this one, where servitors sometimes get their conscience back and being aware of the situation, because they're normally gets kind of like mentally erased and just, you know, being there dueling and executing commands without feeling pain or remorse or whatever. And sometimes the operations, because it's manually done, don't work so well. So there's kind of like presence of their essence still present. And
you don't get it all scraped out.
There is I think it was the healing station servitor, where it's kind of like just an upper body with a head, and his hands are like needles and all kinds of operation tools. And when he heals you, there is a slight chance that he whispers to you, "Help me."
Oh.
It's so fucked up. It's such a nerdy attention to detail that just, you know, speaks to the love of the developers creating content.
So far, my experience with Warhammer, it's essentially me walking down this long hallway and sort of like peeking into the doors as I pass by, and just being like, nope, 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 wouldn't want to be there, nope, nope, just
exactly.
Tyranids, you know, one of them Hive Cities on the other side, just.
It's wild, yeah. It's wild land that I would not want to be part in its in any way spot.
I love it though. Like as a newcomer, I'm really seeing the appeal of the whole thing, and I've always been a fan of like fantasy and dark fantasy and science fiction, and just I guess I don't know if that speaks to the masochism of the fan base essentially, because the world is just so very messed up, basically in every perceivable way. But they make it seem appealing, not to be in, but you know,
to play a universe that is part of that. Yeah, I agree.
Right.
It's kind of like a car crash where it's grim and you have to look away, but you can't.
Right. No good guys. Everybody was guilty of a collision.
Something like that approach. Goodio.